Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of 15 Good Minutes. This is Coach B. Freddie, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
I'm doing good. We don't know where our third member is. And it's funny because before we started recording, I'm not making this up. Freddie and I was just having a conversation about effective communication and scheduling and being on time and all those things. And then we got nothing from our guy. So hopefully, I guess he's sleeping, napping, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're going to press on because that's what we do. I just want to get your opinion today, Freddie. Mercifully, the NBA season ended. It's over now. I don't want to talk about the championship as much as I want to talk about the state of the NBA and just kind of get your opinion on, okay, while it's still fresh, you got a draft coming up and you got a lot of pending things hanging with coaches and things like that. Give me your overview on where you think the NBA is today. And then if you had to give a grade for what you thought the 23-24 season was like, just for you, what would that grade be?
Right now, I think where the NBA is now, in my opinion, is this is the first time I was ever really looking forward to the finals being over. I didn't care obviously I live in Dallas. So I wasn't pulling for the Mavericks. I wasn't pulling against them, but I expected Boston to win. But not about the finals, but to me, I felt like the NBA season, it was unusually long. It felt longer than what it should be. I think where we are now, where the state of the NBA, you're on the verge of seeing the new generation come to the front of the line. It's time for LeBron and all the old heads, LeBron, Chris Paul, the older guys to just go home. And I think that's where we are. You see the younger guys like Tatum, Brown, Luka, Ant-Man, Devin Booker. You're seeing these Wemby. You're seeing the younger guys, the kid in Orlando. You're seeing this new generation of basketball. So it makes me wonder what rules or what's going to change regarding scheduling, the draft, roster makeup and things like that, where the NBA is going to go in the future, because it's inevitable that there will be a shift, there will be a change, and I think you're going to start to see more of it once the older generation, goes off into the sunset. I would like to see expansion, in the NBA. Maybe there'd be a team in Seattle. Maybe you put a team in Vegas. I would like to see, the NBA expand. Maybe a team in Baltimore.
Right.
I would love to see expansion. For me, I would give the NBA season a B minus.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll start with the grade and work back towards what you did. I'll give them a C. And I agree with you. It seemed long to me. I don't understand what that whole before All-Star game tournament in season thing was about. Outside of it being a money grab, it didn't make sense to me. I think you're correct. I see a change in the guard, and that's not a bad thing. I do think some of the younger guys, especially the ones that went deep in the run this year, I should say that they learned from it. It's good to have a short memory. Like I say that about in football, free safeties and stuff like that. Somebody's going to score a touchdown on you. You got to be able to get back on D the next play. But what I saw this year, going back to, I think it was in the conference finals, like with Minnesota, where they were after 2 wins and just how brash and stuff they were versus where they were when they lost. I think you have to lose with humility in the way that you win with excitement. There's a balance in there. And that only comes, I think from playing. I'm interested. I won't say worried. I'm interested to see how the pivot goes with Ja Morant. You know what I mean? Like how many times, to your point about a younger player, his absence, I think it impacted his team, but I also think it impacted the league as well. I wish there was something we could do about the length of it. To you, to what you just said, though, man. even throughout the finals, if it was a good baseball game on that, that's kind of where I was. I just wasn't interested. And I bounced it off of Vern doing one of those games, and I said, "Is it weird that I'm watching the Dodgers play somebody while they have the finals on?" And he said, "No, not really." He said, "If you don't have a dog in that fight, or are you a bigger fan of whatever that other sport is?" And then I mentioned you because I remember it might have been baseball, but at one point last year, you told us you're watching, but you're watching until we get to, I think it was July 10th or whatever that particular date was. That's kind of how I felt about the NBA this year, man. Like it was background noise, and I could have done without it.
I think for me, I'm just speaking for me. I think with college basketball being so exciting this year, college basketball as a whole, and then it was a lot going on with the NBA, college basketball, the WNBA, the Caitlin stuff. It just got to be too much, and so I was actually a lot of times I was watching college World Series, baseball. I was
Yeah,
watching that, I was
Carolina was in it, man.
yeah, so I was watching that, but that's just the way it was too many storylines with basketball as a whole. You had the UConn thing, you had Caitlin Iowa versus LSU round 2. Then you had Iowa versus South Carolina for
Yeah,
national championship. You had UConn in the repeat. Then you had Wemby. Then you had the Draymond stuff. Then you had the play-in tournament. It was just
a lot.
one thing after another. It was just too much going on in basketball to where it made it easier for you to find other self-interest.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. I mean, we talked about this a couple of months ago too. Remember when the playoffs started back in April? We said this is going to run through June, and even when they started in the finals, Freddie, after game one, you don't change cities. They still had 3 days between games. It's like they're intentionally stretching it out. Also found it interesting today that they, as we're taping, they indicated that with the draft coming up as of today, another 31 early entrants to the draft have withdrawn from the draft,
Really?
which means, to your point about some of it maybe being saturated, some of these guys were G leaguers who were trying to get drafted. A lot of them were, college guys that you and I know as well as international guys. Is that, in your opinion, is that because either A, they honestly feel that they're not ready, or they feel that it's just too much like competition in the league right now?
I think it's let me make one thing clear regarding these players. Um, that's trying to go to the NBA. If you are not a guaranteed first round pick, go back to school. One, you can get a degree. What they do? Yeah, we all want a degree. Yeah, right. But what I'm saying is,
You can get Big Nil
you
too,
can
though,
get
right?
paid, right?
Ooh,
you know,
Armando Baycott, hello. Hopefully, these cats have a good family member, friend, or mentor that they actually trust who is good enough to tell you the truth, as opposed to someone telling you, to your point, or you are guaranteed whatever. If you're really not, there's no harm in staying another year, right? I mean, at least you keep playing.
keep playing and keep making money. You're starting to see teams like the Miami Heat, the Atlanta Hawks, the New York Knicks, Chicago Bulls, the Oklahoma City Thunder, teams like that. They're stockpiling, these, second round guys. You know why? Because all the Lakers, the Clippers, the big market teams are signing or drafting, or I'm sorry, putting together super teams to where
Right.
you don't have enough cap space and you gave away all your draft equity. So the only thing you can do is sign low tier guys, mid level, exemptions and things like that. So I think expansion would be something the NBA should look at.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. It's again, I'm really, congratulations to the C's for winning, and also I guess to Dallas for making it, and all the teams that win the playoffs. But I'm glad it's over. I'm just glad the season's over. I mean, it's And not that I have to jump to another sport. I'm just glad the NBA is over, man. So
Yes, me too.
so yeah, that's what we wanted to do today is kind of put a period on the NBA sentence. Although there's another chapter opening up soon with the draft, and then next month we've got summer league and things like that based on some of the cats that get drafted. So there's still a lot of things to follow. If you're a true NBA head, I won't be following any of that. So for me, it's baseball now and football coming up after that. So thank you, NBA.
At the Olympics in Paris now.
That's true too. That's true. That's going to be a little bit different. I will watch that. I like USA basketball. I've been a big fan of that. So be good to see how that plays out. Before we leave today, Freddie, you got anything to say?
Happy Juneteenth to everyone out there. That's about it.
Roger that. Happy Juneteenth. Long time coming. Hope everybody understands what it stands for and what it means. Again, we're gonna bug out now. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Hopefully, we'll have the third member of the team back next week. We'll let you know then. Take care. We'll talk later.